I have Windows on my home computer. Yes, I said it. There is only one reason I do. Compatibility. I need to be able to run Steam and Unity, and get all the drivers for whatever crazy thing I want to plug into my computer. Otherwise that's really it. I have Linux on my work computer with half as much RAM and half as much processing power, yet it runs 4 times as fast. There is a reason most cyber attacks and scams on the internet are targeted at Windows computers. They are bad. The security on them is just a joke. Microsoft makes all of its PC money on data collection now anyway. However, this total disregard for privacy is why Windows 10 is so popular with big companies. It allows the apps on your computer to control the entire device. GIVNG, a lucrative opportunity for large companies. I made this video to tell people just how bad it is. No matter what you do, Microsoft is always collecting your data. But that doesn't mean you can't try to do something about it. Alright, the first security breach of Windows 10 wasn't intentional. Microsoft released Windows 10 in a poor state. Windows 10 is just bad. Every user on Windows is the administrator. That might seem like a positive, but it really isn't. When you go online to download stuff, your options are get or don't get. Seems simple enough. Before you download anything, a good OS should scan it and see if it's full of hostile software. Sometimes Windows does, but it doesn't tell you what is wrong. It just says this software is bad. Bad. What does that mean? Nobody cares what Windows thinks if it doesn't say what's wrong, so they download it, and 99.999999999% of the time, if Windows actually recognizes it's bad, then it either has more power than Windows, which makes Windows jealous, or it actually is bad. See, what should happen is your OS tells you exactly what you're downloading, then asks you step by step what powers it is requesting, not just it's bad, and allow device to make unknown changes to device. I understand that would require effort to do, but if Microsoft put as much effort into releasing a good system as Todd Howard puts into false advertising, we would be all set. The solution: download Ubuntu or some other form of Linux. If you do anything other than gaming or programming external devices that do not run on common software, such as drones or FTC robotics, then you should be on Linux. Linux is the standard of what a computer should be, not Windows 7 Illuminati Mass Surveillance Edition. You can even get most of Steam to work if you download Wine. Linux is freedom. Linux is America in the 1950s, when you could do whatever you want, go wherever you want, and change the world around you. When compared to Windows 10, which is China right now, if for some reason you think you can save Windows, you will need some serious firepower, but if you know who to trust, you may be able to do it. Second problem: Microsoft makes its money on you, the product. Windows 10 was free for most people, and you know, if you don't pay for something, then you're the product. Your entire PC is completely infected with spyware that you can't turn off. And Microsoft even thought of ways to prevent future software from disabling it. I call it the spider web effect. Every Microsoft app has complete and unchecked control of all the other apps at all times. For example, let's take a seemingly unthreatening app, Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office, when open, can send a diagnostic report to Microsoft when a bug appears. That doesn't seem too bad, does it? Microsoft Office also has all of the keyboard improvement software, such as autocorrect. Still not that bad. Well, what if I told you that it also had access to microphone and camera through Skype, and a keylogger through the keyboard improvement programs, and your location for the weather programs, and everything you've ever done online? So the solution is to delete it, right? Well, think again, as there are only 2 settings for Microsoft: Elementary, Basic, or Full, which for all we know is the same. So what next? Oh, let's try using a third-party app to delete it. Look, the first result: an ad for a free software. Yippee, that was easy. Allow to make account changes to my device. Yes please. Oh no, it infected my computer. Oops. Again, the first issue: Microsoft don't tell you what anything does, then gives it full control of the entire device. Even if you delete that, as long as one Microsoft app still functions, that amount of data being broadcasted is still the same because of the spider web effect. You literally have to cut off every single head before it stops, and now your computer doesn't work properly because you deleted something important. The solution: Find the right software to delete things properly, or if you actually need one of the apps, simply use a third-party app to manage outgoing traffic, incoming traffic, mostly background updates, or even something else using the first problem to steal your data, such as Google Chrome for all we know, and completely lock down background process. I recommend 2 traffic and computer monitors because the monitors themselves could be broadcasting as well. Here is a list of things to do. Slay the formidable Microsoft Hydra. 1. WPD. Go to WPD app to download. I use this to delete most of the Microsoft apps in 2 clicks. Then make sure to disable all, including the advanced settings. Next, go to either or all of Spybit and Beacon. Make sure to track down the earlier versions so you don't have to pay. DebitNet, a shampoo anti-spy, W10 privacy, Win10 spy disabler, and destroy WinODWS spying. Then we need to monitor all traffic coming off of your computer for at least, well, forever. But to see if you're doing it right, see what is being sent to Windows for at least a day. Sometimes smarter spyware developers will try the sleeper cell method. This is when you have your spyware copy every piece of data it can, then broadcast like a month later. The best thing to do is to download either Wireshark or, God forgive us, Microsoft Network Monitor on a different device that capture packets. For maximum results forever. Now after you've done that, you probably should download the anti-keylogger such as Spy Shelter Premium, Zemana, and Malwarebytes and Rootkit. I use GhostPress. Problem for the backdoor syndrome. When making this video, I discovered that in fact some of the third-party privacy apps which were made by large companies had been given complete and total control over my computer. They were accessing things that they should not be, and thanks to Microsoft's poor infrastructure, my options for them were keep or delete. I think that it is ridiculous that I have to use multiple programs to keep Microsoft in check, but to also keep each other from spying on me too. My warning to you is this. It is in fact illegal for Microsoft to sell you data with a name. They sell everything else, but it is just attached to its address, and all accounts attached to it, which for most people ends up with a profile or account somewhere with personal information attached. For me, the biggest threat is the keylogger, mic, and camera access. And Windows 10 is such a labyrinth of hidden code, I seriously doubt that anyone could find them all, and judging by the amount of background processes I still can't explain, as long as one head of the Hydra remains, the full amount of data offload remains. When trying to fix this, I allowed multiple downloads from websites with ads, unrestricted complete access to my computer. In multiple cases, these apps might have done more damage to my privacy than good, and thanks to Windows 10 I have no idea or control over what they can do. Thanks Windows. The solution. I feel the best way to combat problem 4 is to reduce your internet footprint. If you use Windows, it should be as a last resort. It achieves 90% plus of all cyber attacks for a reason. But if you do, you should download 2 of each kind of software presented above. Always have your computer on low power mode. End-to-end encrypt everything you can. Use Tor. Have another computer on Linux with fake accounts for everything you can. You should have 2 identities. One Windows identity, one Freedom Fighter identity. It's called mass surveillance for a reason. Microsoft doesn't care about your search history, passwords, or photos, but the people who write sketchy programs that promise to fix everything then take up 10% of your CPU do. Don't download more than 2 programs to monitor Microsoft. Any more than that is overkill, and puts you at unnecessary risk. Problem 5. My conclusion. I spent hours going through the files, telemetry data, task manager and forums, and the conclusion I have come to is, no matter what you do, without completely overhauling Windows 10 OS, you can't find and destroy all the spyware on your computer, without putting your computer in greater risk from the programs you gave complete access to. Throughout this video I have presented solutions to every problem, the one thing, the one fact, the one final solution to the encroachment of privacy we all face is this. 5. I have held this back the entire video to keep you interested, for this is the miracle program you have been waiting for. 3. What I am about to say will make the entire video irrelevant. 2. 1. Switch to Linux. But seriously, I will be making a video about Linux soon. There is no reason you should not switch to Linux. Think of a reason you might not. Perhaps you want to play Steam, use Unity or the Unreal engines, or you think Windows isn't that bad. Watch that video and I will prove that Linux is superior in any way. Now subscribe to this channel so I can sub to you back and then switch to Linux, or Phil Spencer will see you looking up the price of the PS5 because Windows is always watching. Then he will deploy your Xbox Series X to stop you from buying the Sony Wi-Fi router.
Phil Spencer.